Hey, we're live. Thank you so much for joining us. Excellent. People are here already. Much appreciated. It's so lovely to feel that we're here as a little group. And I hope this will give a little break. Hello, Origami Nick and Eric. Many thanks. I hope to inspire you, as I know anyone who has taken up origami will find themselves inspired and excited. You can do simple, you can do complex, and it's all equally fascinating. Hello, Penny. And I've been trying to do, I suppose, simplish, fairly simple folds so that they're accessible. Hello. So that they're accessible to everybody. Hello, Stephen. Oh, lots of people. Thank you. Really appreciate the support. I think particularly in this time, it's a little bit of an odd time. I don't know if you're all feeling a bit like that, but a little bit unsettling. We know that things are not so great at the moment and that rates are going up. So I think we're going to have to, lock down and sort of look after our minds. I think keep ourselves a little bit sane if we can. And what better than reaching for a hobby? I think a lot of people have been losing their hobbies. And hello, Maria. Oh, it's brilliant. We've got some different people here as well. Thank you. Excellent. And finding ways to lift our mood and lift our spirit through paper folding, and it always works. I don't know about you, but I find making something really focuses your mind. Hello, Deborah. Focuses your mind so much that you do forget everything for a little bit, and that's really healthy. I think we need ways to give ourselves breaks. So these films are all dedicated to my colleagues at UCH, where I work one day a week, and I'm working now remote. So this is part of me offering that continued care, support, encouragement, that well-being really matters for staff and for patients, and actually for everyone. If we can look after our mind, then that really is very important. And also it keeps us safe if we can still be connected, still have fun, and still feel social. And this is a really safe way to do that, isn't it? And this week I thought I'd bring along a traditional fold. I've been enjoying making birds at the moment. It's funny, I haven't naturally wanted to do quite so many animal folds, and birds are the classic things, of course, to make. And I just find, because I go off for a walk every day or a run, and I just find myself looking at birds, I feel as if that's the sort of main company. I've discovered recently how lovely Robin's song is. We've got a little robin that keeps visiting, and it's, now I think of origami as well. Many lovely paper folds for making birds. But I thought I'd bring along a swallow. So this is a traditional fold. You'll see it's very much based on the crane. It's adapted from that, but I really like it because it has a feeling of grace and a flying. So I really recommend you make one, hold it up against the sky. I'd love to see pictures of your birds against the sky. And maybe you could put it up in the window. I don't know if it's one that you've done before. It does involve scissors, but it's traditional. And maybe it's good to do things a little bit differently. So if you grab yourself a piece of paper and a pair of scissors, and I will be showing you. As usual, I tend to natter for a few minutes because I know, hello, Wendy. It takes people a little time to arrive. Thank you, everyone, for coming along. Just seeing your comments makes me feel like we're here together as a group, and we're gonna get through this time together through making. Oh, kirigami, yes. Excellent. Oh, thank you for coming along. Excellent. So yeah, a couple of weeks ago now, I ran a session at British Origami Society, and I'm very proud to be a member. Set up by the first president, the magician, Robert Harbin, and it's his book, I think the lovely title, Paper Magic. It really is magic. There's something, I think, very similar, a feeling of surprise, of using your hands, of wonder, but there's no trickery involved. It just is amazing. And anyway, so yeah, I was very kindly invited to share a fold. These folds are not my folds, I have to say. I am still very much learning. So I guess a little bit, I'm actually a scientist and I work as an artist. So I do invent my own things, but it takes a little while to get to the point where you can create new things. And actually, you know what, because I normally invent my own things, I'm really enjoying appreciating other people's work and how kind to share it. And a bit like science, you don't just come up with something amazing without a lot of learning. So I'm still very much learning as I go along, and just appreciating that. And it's a pretty amazing thing how inventive people are. It's within constraints, so it's quite difficult thing, really, origami. But I think when you have a go at folding, you are joining someone else on their journey, and there's always a feeling of discovery. So I hope you're going to enjoy that. Brilliant. So if you get your piece of paper, it doesn't matter what it is. I always show from A4. If you're in America, letter, it's just a piece of paper that you might have. Excellent. Can I just read the video will be ready very soon? Yes, lots of people have been asking me actually. There's some people who didn't attend who would have loved to have seen this. So I don't know whether it's at all possible to share as well with other people beyond those who attended, because lots of people have been asking me, because I shared pictures of the folds, and be going, oh, how do you make that penguin, and how do you do that? So right, so this is what we're going to make as ever. Oh yeah, it must be a lot of editing actually, mustn't it? It was a really long day, I have to say. By the end my head was slightly spinning, but to be honest, it's not surprising, is it? I find that in real life, origami is like going through a workout. So if you're doing it all day, you will feel quite exhausted at the end, but in a really nice way, and very happy all the things you've made. Anyway, enough of me chatting. I'm going to bring this down, but it's part of hopefully what I offer. There are lots of people doing lovely, beautiful demonstrations, but I'm, I suppose, mostly trying to offer you a bit of company at the same time. And the encouragement during this time, a strange time, let's find our connection. Right, so if you take a corner, doesn't matter what sort of paper you have. I know some of you have origami paper. I'm almost a little bit bad because I mostly work in this way using just whatever paper's around. So I often do not have a feel for which colour you should have on which side. With origami paper, you can often have different colours on different sides. So at this moment, all I'm doing is going to make a square. And we'll get rid of this rectangle. So if we turn it over and then bring it back. That's right, line up. And I recommend everyone go slowly, taking your time. So is one of you in America as well, I'm guessing? Is that Bin? I can't see. Oh, lots of origami. Thank you so much for joining. There we go. Right, I've done a nice strong fold. If you do strong folds, it all goes well. So I'm going to just remove that. Probably most of you have already got papers, so you're just watching this, but I'm keen to show that it's possible with whatever you have at home. It's such a cheap hobby, isn't it? You could use any paper. Convert old documents into beautiful folds. So I've done one horizontal line there. Sorry, diagonal line there. We're going to do the other diagonal. Get my words in a twist there. There we go. It's nice to think of us all folding here together in time. We've got something physical that we're doing together. And just take your time, be really exact, give good strong folds. That's it, really. My third rule is to remember to enjoy yourself. It's important. There we go. Right, so you've done your diagonals. Turn it over, and it's already looking interesting. It's like a nice little tent. We're going to do a horizontal and a vertical. I encourage everyone to just enjoy every step. There's beauty in it, isn't there? I often think of origami as a little bit like how we feel. We start off a bit flat, don't quite know where we're going. Little blank piece of paper. And then how can you change it? And you just go through an amazing transformation. So we've done one horizontal line there. There we go. And then the other line there. Yeah. Yeah, so this one would just be one colour. I don't think it's showing bits of other colours. Whereas some folds can be quite nice because if you're using origami paper, then you can see different things. Right, so hopefully you've got a piece of paper like that where you should be able to simply push it all together and it forms a square. Has that worked for you? If it's forming a triangle, then you've kind of got it the wrong way up. And if anybody's in that position, let me know because I can explain. But you should have done your diagonals one way, horizontals and verticals the other way, and then you should be able to push it together, forms a square. What we're actually doing at the moment appears to be the traditional crane, and it's a bit of a variation, a modification to make it go otherwise. Right, bring this down. Wow, there's a group of 12 of us. That's lovely. So if you look at the end, which is the loose ends here, we're going to take the side and fold it into the middle, like so. Brilliant. And it's been, I think, one of the gifts during this time has been, you know, working in different ways. I have to say, I've overcomplicated. Third base, yeah, I guess so. It is. I've ended up modifying how I show things to be shown on screen. So maybe if you're able to follow me this way. And then the other side. I'll try to do it as least confusing way possible. Saying that, I'm sure it can easily be confused. There we go. Hope that's worked for you, Maria. That's great. So then if we turn it to the back, and we're going to do the same thing. So we're folding up from the end that's loose, and this is very much making your origami crane at this point. And I guess, imagine it would make an amazing map of sort of where you start and then the different directions you could go in. It really is endless though. So I'm counting on origami folds to keep me going for a long time, because I'm trying to show a fold a week, and I kind of get these moments of, oh my goodness, are there enough to keep us going? Of course there are. There will be. I'll keep finding things. It's also trying to find things that are interesting, not too difficult, but interesting. So hopefully it's looking like this. So our next step is to fold over that top triangle. But most of all, probably with me, you just get me chatting away a little bit, because it's not just about the fold. I think it's about the company, and that's how you learn origami, is from each other, some time together. That's it. So I folded over that top. Now I like to think of opening a present. It's just a nice thought. And we're going to do as we would with the crane, top layer. And if you haven't done the crane, well, you're learning at this very moment. So what we're going to do is, I recommend almost holding that triangle, bringing this back, and you'll find at the bottom of this, it will easily fold up. We're going to end up flattening it. So the bottom will fold, but this top area is not so easy. And we're not adding any extra lines. All we're doing is changing the direction of those lines. So can you see? I'm just trying to refold the line the other way. Like so. That's it. So hopefully, I hope that's worked for you. Flattened. Lots of you will be familiar with this, but I'm keen for everyone to imagine we're around a table, and I'm not going to let anyone be left behind, because that wouldn't be fair. So it's together. So same thing on the back. You've again got this little triangle. I'm going to open up that top layer. Take the top layer, and have any of you made this before? I'm just curious. It's not one that I knew before, but I thought it would be fun to do. Opening up, tucking in the sides. Of course, it's very hard to chat through Messenger when you're doing origami. You don't really have free fingers, do you? But again, you'll find at the bottom of this easily folds up, and then it's the top that you need to sort of roll and reverse those folds so that they go inwards rather than outwards. It's all very spatial, and it's all quite hard to put to words. And it was quite interesting from the British Origami Society Convention day. I realised that I don't use the same terminology because I haven't really grown up with this. Excellent. Oh, it's a new model. Oh, great, Stephen. I'm glad to bring you something. Excellent. And it's traditional too, from what I understand. But you'll see where it's derived from. Obviously, so far this looks like a crane, doesn't it? So if you keep this as it is, you'll find that one end has the little leggy ends. And what we're going to do, like the crane, is we're going to sort of tighten it up. So if we take it at the side and fold that in a straight line from the point, I'm afraid at this point I can't easily do that in the air. I will show you. Again, you'll be, if you've done a crane, you'll know what you're doing with this, but if it's new, I'm keen to show you. Oh goodness, wow. Yes. This is true. So from the side, pushing it to the middle. I think even I remember learning to drive. I even found left and right a little bit hard to articulate. Bizarrely. It's just so visual, but it doesn't always come out in words. Oh, it's the hard part. Yes, because it's quite thick, isn't it, at this point? And doing the same on the other side. Because I just want to show, which is the beauty of film, isn't it? And I've rather enjoyed, because even at sort of events and people are showing, you often can't get close enough to see properly, whereas hopefully you can see when it's a camera. So turning to the back, and the same thing again. Then I've got to remember how it changes, but it's pretty cool actually. There we go. So the side against the middle. I hope you're okay, Eric, with this. I don't know. It's probably good to do exercise though. From what I hear, it's usually is a good thing. Just go gently, and I'm sorry things have got more difficult though. It's just one of those things we all dread, isn't it, when we can't use our hands so well. But I'm sure you can do things. Don't let it govern things. Use a ruler. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yes. Gives you a bit of, there's always ways of doing things. Great. Right. Now we're going to have to get going on the route of making it into a swallow. At the moment it's a crane, isn't it? Cranes are very cool, but we're making a swallow. So if we go to the side, first of all, I think if we open it up, just fold it up as you would do again for a crane, but we're just going to take that as a line. That's all. Okay, that's it. Just that line could be useful. We're next going to make the wings. Now these are the wings on the crane, but what we're going to do is make them into swallow wings. So we're going to bring it down and tuck it in. Do you see? So it's up here. So if you bring it down, again, I don't quite have the right words, but hopefully you're seeing what I'm doing. Can you see? So I'm sort of tucking it in the middle, and it's going to be sort of horizontal. Is that the right word? I do have a doctorate. That's it. Might be able to use that. Yep. So again, the same thing on the other side. That you're tucking in the middle and having it out. So these are the wings as it's flying. Beautiful. And it's amazing. They would all be off now to Africa, somewhere a bit warmer, South Africa, around 200 miles a day. And think of them. Amazing. The flying while sleeping. Yeah, that sounds right, doesn't it, Deborah? An inverse fold. Very good. I'll learn from all of you. Right, so the next thing we can do, I hope that's worked. Has that worked for your wings? Oh, hang on, no, I'd do it even further down. Sorry, I've done them quite high up. I don't know about you, but for some reason I think that we can do them a bit lower down. Yes, so I've done it quite high up. No, bring it further down. I'm afraid. Oh, yeah. But also, I guess I'm quite keen for it not to be, for it to be accessible, because I'm keen to encourage people who haven't tried this before. And I still feel a little bit in that territory myself, but that's a good thing. Oh, I'm still fiddling around with this. So hopefully like that. Has that worked for you? These are your little wings. Our next step will be to do the head, I think. So you should already, do you remember we did a line there? So bring it up. Tempting to do it in a camera. We'll see whether this works. So we're going to take the tip of it. So we brought it up as far as it will go. And we're going to bring the tip and aim for that middle. So it's easy to do, isn't it? That's right. I wonder who came up with this. From what I understand, it's traditional, but a person would have gone, I think I could do something else with this crane. So you've hopefully brought it down to that point. And next, I guess about halfway. I mean, this is the beauty of the animals, that you can be a little bit more relaxed, and actually how you do it will make a difference. And it's the variation, as with all animals, that make them unique. So I guess I'm folding it just so that this sticks up like a head. Do you see? Like that. There we go. Now, I was playing around, so you can just leave it like that. It looks like a crane, almost like flying from above, doesn't it? Or looking down on it. You'll see. So it sticks out a little bit. And I know that you could do different folds to make it a little bit flatter. That's a possibility. But this is the way that I've learnt it. Or you could use glue. It's up to you. Right. So you've done the head, which actually, if you turn around to the other side, looks, there we go, more like the swallow head. I might bring that up a little bit more, actually. So just so you feel it looks about right. Is that working for you? Is that okay? We're not far off. We've done well. So our next step, don't know what's going on there. Yep, it's looking good. Good. I am glad. So our next step, we're not far off. Just playing with that wing. What's going on with my wing there? I'm sure it'll fly 200 miles a day. So the very bottom, I'm going to fold up there. Oh, actually, no, I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold up to this point. So it's in half. And that's just to make a little line. So to that bit of the body up here. There we go. So next, your scissors. You definitely need to use them, I'm afraid. But it's quite interesting to think, actually, that the cutting is used a lot more in Japan, and that's fine. So why shouldn't we as well? So you will feel that there's already naturally a bit of a line in there. So it will quite naturally, I think, cut. And we're aiming to that middle line that we folded, just so you know where to cut to. Sound of cutting. Quite relaxing too, actually, cutting. You can see it's already the tail. That's it. You can cross it. As I said, you'll find that this really sticks out quite a long way. So you could either glue it, or you could, I was just playing, this is another of these different folds, isn't it? But you could try squash folding, I think that's the right term. But actually, I would almost recommend the gluing, dare I say it, or just enjoying it as it is. That's the back that you don't need to see. But from this side, I think it looks rather lovely. And I really recommend holding up against the sky, or maybe putting in your window. Let me see if I can hold up against the sky. The sky's not too far away. Let's see if this works. There's our... Oh, there we go. Maybe get that flying. Yeah, we've got some guinea pigs out there. You can see, but it'd be quite nice to put yours against the sky. Hold it up. There we go. Has it worked for you? Put in the clothes peg. Yes, that's a good idea. Yeah, and it depends how thick your paper is. So actually, one way I was playing around with, as I said, you can sort of do a squash fold. I think that's the way that you do it, which is these little bits, but you'll find it's quite tough to do, where you... Oh, actually, I'm starting to do it a different way now. So you can sort of tuck it in. It sort of starts to hold it in. But I think I did it another way before, actually. Oh, cutting and gluing is... I know, I'm sorry. Yeah, except when the world was cool. Well, it's up to you how you do it. But I think it will. Whatever you do, it will stick out a little bit, but that's part of it. But actually, if it's held up against the light, you won't notice. But, I rather like though that this model, a bit like the shrimp, does involve some cutting, and that's part of it. Oh dear, maybe cut off that bit. I didn't mean to. Oh yes, I'd love to see pictures of your swallows. Think of them going back to Africa now, and hold them up. Feel a little bit free. I think we're gonna need to work on our well-being during this time. So maybe we can encourage other people to join us as well. It's a lovely thing to do. Maybe your family, if you're an origamist, then maybe your family's already a bit too familiar with origami. But otherwise, it's such a lovely thing to do with others. And as you know, I'm here every Wednesday at 2. And I've also set up a Facebook group, Join the Fold Origami to Beat Boredom. And it's just to try to lift our spirits, to try to feel a little bit inspired, and to try to sort of keep it up regularly, almost like a sort of going to keep your body fit. It's keeping your mind fit. But most of all, I just hope you find it fun. But I think that's the biggest motivation of all. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I will see what I do next week. I'm still wondering whether to do another animal or maybe an interesting pattern, a shape. There's so many possibilities, and I quite like just letting time somehow bring the right thing at the right moment. So I hope this has been a nice fold for you. Our summer visitors that they're leaving. Take care, everyone. Bye bye. Have a good week. Look after yourself. Keep safe, and best wishes. Bye bye. See you soon.